Good evening, everyone. I am Baidanesa May Puto, and I will be discussing the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child in relation to children's rights in Philippine domestic laws. So this presentation will be divided into three parts. First, we will examine the principle of the UNCRC and their corresponding domestic laws. Second, we will outline and critique children's rights as citizens. And finally, we will feature a governmental agency dedicated to youth development. So for part one, we have the principle of non-discrimination. So this principle emphasizes that children should enjoy their rights and should never be subjected to any discrimination and cannot be deprived of their right to grow, chase their dreams, and right to have a happy and unforgettable childhood. So this principle is supported by the UNCRC specifically under the Article 2, which states that non-discrimination, so the convention applies to every child without discrimination, whatever their ethnicity, sex, religion, language, abilities, or any other status, whatever they think or say, and whatever their family background. Under the UNCRC, these are the following rights of the children. First is the right to life under Article 6, right to birth registration, name, nationality, and care under Article 7, right to an identity under Article 8, right to stay in contact with both parents under Article 9, right to visit and keep in contact with parents under Article 10, right to privacy under Article 16, and right to access information from media under Article 17. So for Philippine domestic laws, we have Republic Act number 386, or also known as the Civil Code of the Philippines. So under Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3, the best interest of the children shall be the paramount consideration in all actions concerning them, whether undertaken by the public or private social welfare institutions, courts of law, administrative authorities, and legislative bodies consistent with the principle of first call for children as enunciated in the UNCRC. So every effort shall be exerted to promote the welfare of children and enhance their opportunities for a useful and happy life. So this provision aligned with the mandate of this principle, wherein all actions concerning children or all decisions made ensure the protection and promoting the well-being and development of the child. Next principle is the principle of the best interest of the child. So this principle focuses on all actions concerning children wherein the child's best interest is the primary consideration, meaning that even if the child is entitled to the same rights as an adult, they still need additional safeguards due to their developmental stages wherein guidance is necessary. So this was supported by the Article 3 of UNCRC, which states that the best interest of the child must be the top priority in all decisions and actions that affect them. So under the UNCRC, these are the following rights. Right to express their views under Article 12, freedom of expression under Article 13, freedom of thought, belief, and religion under Article 14. So we have also here the Republic Act number 7610, or also known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. So this law defines acts of child abuse, including the physical, psychological, sexual, maltreatment, and neglect, and sets penalties for violators. So it also addresses issues such as child labor, trafficking and exploitation, and obscene or harmful performances. So RA 7610 mandates government agencies, local units, and non-government organizations to create programs and mechanisms for the protection and welfare of children. It also emphasizes the importance of children's rights, aligns with the international standards like the UNCRC, and reinforces the states or government's commitment to safeguarding the well-being and dignity of the Filipino children. Next is the principle of life, survival, and development. So this principle emphasizes the importance to promote comprehensive development in safeguarding a child's right to life. This encompasses not only the physical growth, but also mental, emotional, social, and cultural development. States are mandated to implement measures that protect children from threats such as the malnutrition, disease, and neglect, and to create environments conducive to their overall well-being. So this is supported by the Article 6 of the UNCRC, which states that every child has the right to life, and government must do all they can to ensure that children survive and develop their full potential. So for the UNRC, under the UNCRC, these are the following rights: right to the best possible health under Article 24, right to social security under Article 26, right to adequate standard of living under Article 27, and right to education under Article 28. So for this principle, we have Republic Act number 8980. So this act is also known as the Early Childhood Care and Development, or the ECCD, which ensures that young children receive the necessary support for their physical, mental, emotional, and social development. The last principle is the principle of inclusion and participation. So this principle recognizes children as active participants in society, wherein their insight can significantly contribute to more appropriate outcomes. So under this principle, children feel safe and encourage them to express their views, opinions, and other aspects that will play a crucial role in their development stages. This is supported by the UNCRC, specifically under Article 12, which states that every child has the right to express their views, feelings, and wishes in all matters affecting them, and to have their views considered and taken seriously. So this right applies at all times, for example, during immigration proceedings, housing decisions, or the child's day-to-day home life. So under the UNCRC, these are the following rights for this principle. First is the freedom of association under Article 15, right to learn and use the language, customs, and religion of their family under Article 30, right to relax, play, and take part of the cultural and artistic activities under Article 31. So for this principle, we have the Presidential Decree 603, also known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code. So under Article 47 of this code, the Family Affairs, whenever proper, parents shall allow the child to participate in the discussion of family affairs, especially in matters that particularly concern him. So in cases involving his discipline, the child shall be given a chance to present his side. So let's proceed for the to the part 2. So part 2 tackles the citizens' rights. So first is the constitutional rights. So under Article 15, Section 3, Paragraph 2, the state shall defend the right of children to assistance, including proper care and nutrition, and special protection from all forms of neglect, abuse, cruelty, exploitation, and other conditions prejudicial to their development. So we also have the human rights theory. So this provision reflects the idea that children, as part of humanity, are entitled to specific rights due to their vulnerability. So it aligns with the international human rights frameworks like the UNCRC, which advocates for children's rights to survival, development, protection, and participation. Next is um if in the Philippines, so if these rights um is respected and promoted. So my answer is yes. The Philippines respects and promotes children's rights through comprehensive laws such as the Child and Youth Welfare Code, Anti-Child Abuse, and the government programs such as the 4Ps for education and nutrition and ECCD for early childhood development. And for the international collaborations with the organizations like the UNICEF, so awareness campaigns and efforts by NGOs further advocate for child welfare. So for the political rights, under Republic Act number 10742 or the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015, so under Section 19B, any citizen of the Philippines residing in the said barangay for at least 6 months who attains the age of 15 years old at the time of the special election and who registers as member of the Katipunan ng Kabataan before the Sangguniang Kabataan Secretary shall be entitled to vote in the said special election. So for these political rights, we have the democratic participatory theory. So this provision reflects the belief that participation in governance and decision making should be inclusive, extending to the youth. So it also emphasizes the importance of engaging young people in democratic processes to ensure their voices are heard and represented. So yes, the Philippine respects and promotes youth participation in governance through the Sangguniang Kabataan, which provides a platform for young people to engage in decision-making, community projects, and leadership. Programs like mandatory SK training and allocated funding empower youth to represent their communities effectively. Last is the civil and proprietary rights. So under the Republic Act number 386, an act to ordain and institute the Civil Code of the Philippines. So under Section 5, legitimate, Article 8887, the following compulsory heirs. First is the legitimate children and descendants with respect to their legitimate parents and ascendants. Second, in default of the foregoing legitimate parents and their ascendants with respect to their legitimate children and descendants. Third is the acknowledged natural children and natural children by legal fiction. Last is the other illegitimate children referred to in Article 287. So for this right, we have the natural law theory. So this provision reflects the idea that inheritance rights are a natural extension of familial relationships and obligations. It also recognizes the intrinsic duty of parents and ascendants to provide for their descendants and vice versa, ensuring fairness and security within the family unit. So yes, the inheritance rights of the children in the Philippines, as outlined in the Civil Code, are respected and promoted through laws and guaranteeing compulsory heirs a portion of the estate, including legitimate, adopted, and acknowledged children. So the court enforced these rights, ensuring children are protected in succession disputes. So one of the government agencies that promotes youth development is the National Youth Commission. So this is their logo or seal. So mandate of NYC. So the National Youth Commission is responsible for policy formulation on and review of youth promotion and development programs, establishment of consultative mechanism for dialogue with the youth, and linkaging with the government and non-government organizations, both at the national and international levels, for the youth's active participation in government and non-government programs that will help their full potential as partners in nation building. So NYC is currently headed by the chairperson Joseph Francisco Ortega. So question is, in what ways does this agency cater to the needs of children or youth? Explain. So the NYC caters to the needs of children and youth by advocating for policies, implementing empowerment programs, and promoting participation in governance. It addresses issues such as education, employment, health, and protection with initiatives like leadership training, mental health advocacy, and livelihood programs. NYC also supports marginalized groups, collaborates with stakeholders, and provides crisis assistance during the emergencies, ensuring young people are equipped to contribute meaningfully to society. So some of their programs, activities, and projects are the Youth Legal Program, Government Internship Program, National Youth Parliament, and other PUBs under their mandate. So to conclude my presentation, so the UNCRC and Philippine laws work together to safeguard rights, ensuring their protection, development, and participation. So while the process has been made, continuous efforts are needed to enhance child welfare policies, improve implementation, and raise awareness. So by working together, we can create a safer and more inclusive society for every child. Thank you for listening and good evening, everyone.